We really want to thank you and welcome you to this program of the University of Arkansas Small Business and Technology Development Center. We're extremely pleased to be able to bring you these programs to help support small businesses. Please be advised that we will be recording this conversation for ASB/TDC education purposes. We will be able to access these. You will be able to access these recordings. We will too, because we learn every single time. All over in all of our past workshops and webinars at our website, and we'll be posting those links in the chat. I'm going to introduce Mailena in just a moment, but first I'd like to introduce us and tell you a little bit about ASB/TDC. I'm Amy Robinson, and I'm a specialty consultant with the Small Business Center, and with me is fellow consultant and facilitator Chris Case. Say hi, Chris. And if you don't know about the Small Business Development Center, it is a one-stop shop for startups and existing small businesses. We are associated with the University of Arkansas and affiliated with the SBA, which is a state and the statewide ASB/TDC. We also have a national network of more than 1,000 small business centers around the country. So locally, we offer one-on-one complimentary consulting that includes business planning, market analysis, financial projections, and more, as well as programs like this one, covering relevant topics for business owners. So if you're not already a client, we would love to have you visit us at sbtdc.uark.edu. After this presentation, you can find this and other programs. You will be getting a copy of this presentation via email, and we will send you a survey. So make sure that we know who you are. If we can't see your full name, please send that to either Chris or me, so we make sure that your little check box is marked and we can email you, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Chris?
Absolutely. So today we're bringing you, I have an email marketing list. Now what? I've asked that question of myself many, many times, but we do love this format because it gives us all an opportunity to talk with the experts like Mailena, ask questions that we might have, and work through whatever challenges we have, and also these learning opportunities that we have. This is an interactive workshop, so you're encouraged to ask questions as we go along. Please keep yourself on mute until you have a question, and you can either unmute yourself, we'll see the light come on and we'll call on you, or you also can place your questions in the chat box and we'll be taking care of those along the way. We will also leave a little bit of time at the end for any questions that you might want to add or ask then after learning what we're about to learn. So Amy, you want to introduce our guest?
Absolutely. Well, we want to welcome Mailena. She is one of our ASB/TDC consultants, as well as a partner in Concord Adams and a partner in Big Box Karaoke. But we are going to let her do the big reveals and tell her a little bit about yourself. And while we're getting to know Mailena, we'd also like to get to know you. So if you want to post in the chat and tell us a little bit about what industry you're in, maybe where you are in your email marketing journey, that would be fantastic. And also post any questions you have, but also feel free to unmute, as Chris already mentioned. So without further hesitation, Mailena, welcome and thank you. I'm so excited to learn from you today.
Thank you.
Hi, Mailena.
Hi. Okay, let me get my screen shared. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Let me just give a quick background on myself. Mailena Urso. I am, as Amy said,
Hey, Mailena, you're on mute. Not sure what happened there. There you go.
Okay, I'm back. I saw that pop up. Owner of Concord Adams and Big Box Karaoke. So I'll talk about those in a little bit. But what got me here in talking about email marketing is my marketing background. And I have worked with several marketing companies, Collective Bias, one of them, who they're an influencer marketing company up in Rogers. And we specialized in influencer marketing. And as the lead on the marketing department, our job was to market Collective Bias to our potential clients. So how did we do that? And we specialized in business to business marketing. So we did that mainly through content marketing, which I'll talk about later, but content marketing, which included email marketing, lead generation, blog, social media, all the different content channels in order to get people to either sign up for a case study or call one of our sales reps to learn more about what we do and hopefully to sign. And then I moved on to a company called Lauren James, retail business here in Fayetteville, sold nationwide, and they were focused on business to consumer. So I really wanted to just get more experience in the B2C space and flex my marketing experience there. And so I got to work with them and help lead their marketing department. And we also had lots of content marketing happening in email, social media, influencers. This was a women's brand. So all the places women go to look for and research what they want to wear is where we had to be. And so we did that. And then I got an opportunity to start my own small business, which actually was just a dream of mine and my husband's, Big Box Karaoke. It's a private suite karaoke restaurant and bar located in Fayetteville on Block. And it opened in December of 2018. And so email I knew was going to be part of our marketing strategy. And I'm very lucky to have my marketing background and now own a restaurant and get to bring some of that marketing expertise to Big Box. But unlike my corporate background, I don't have the budget or the resources to execute that marketing plan. So I have to be kind of scrappy with it for Big Box. And I hope today you will learn some of the scrappy ways to kind of build your own email marketing strategy. At Concord Adams, we work with small to mid-sized businesses to help them make their ideas come to life through digital experiences. So websites, marketing strategies, brand identities, things like that. So today we're going to be talking about just the basics of email marketing, how to make a plan, how to segment and target your lists and your content. And then I'm going to give you a lot of content ideas for email. We'll talk about automation and how to evaluate what you're doing, if it's working. And then hopefully by the end of the presentation, you will feel empowered and inspired to just go and do, because that's the main point of email for us, small business owners, is to just go and do and see what works. So why email marketing? I think that it's easy to say that email is kind of a dying form of marketing because we get so many emails. Our inboxes are constantly being filled with email. And so it's easy to say that nobody's going to look at my email. So why should I do email? But that's not necessarily true. Globally, 30% of marketers cite email marketing as having the highest ROI, and it's 40 times more effective at acquiring customers. So, and there's way more statistics than this that kind of back up the fact that email marketing does still work. So, especially from a small business standpoint, I think it's an easy way to keep top of mind with our customers, and it's just another form of communication with them. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about building a list because the name of the presentation is We Have a List, Now What? But if you haven't started building your list, then here are some easy ways to build that list. ASBTDC hosted another email marketing webinar a few weeks back, and Natasha did a really great job of really diving deep into how to build a list. So definitely suggest watching that one. But if you didn't get to go to that one and you don't have a list today, then an easy way to start building that list is just gathering emails, whether you have a physical location. So if you have a physical location, even just like a pen and paper and, write down your email address to get notifications from us. And then you have to, actually do something with that pen and paper list and put it into your email provider, or online if you collect emails on transactions, which is something that we do at Big Box. Every time somebody makes a reservation, I take all of those emails and put them into our marketing email subscriber list. So find those opportunities, invite people on the channels that you have grown already, like your social media channels, invite them to your email and give them a reason to sign up. So provide incentives. At the very least, if you have a website, which you should have a website, if you have a business, then you should have an email capture on that website. So a place where people can go and sign up for your newsletter and give them an incentive to sign up, whether it's a discount on something or maybe just letting them know what to expect in your email. Sometimes our email subscribers are our best customers or our most loyal customers. And so think of them as your VIP customers. So anytime you launch something new or have an announcement or want to give a sneak peek, let's give our email subscribers that first view of things and it'll make them feel special. So that's something you can talk about on the front end. These are just examples of how some people start building their lists, whether it's signing up to get an incentive, like a discount, asking your social media to sign up, all of that. Benchmarks are really important to kind of understand so that we know how well we're doing. And these are general benchmarks, overall email. It's really important to take this with a grain of salt because we all work in different industries. And so different industries have different benchmarks. But this one is just kind of in general. These are benchmarks for open rate, average open rate, 15 to 25%. If you're hitting that, then you're doing good. 2.5% click-through rate. If you're hitting that, you're doing pretty good. 20 to 30% average click to open rate, which that means it's the number of clicks out of the number of opens. So those are some benchmarks just to kind of keep in mind. Again, you're going to need to do your own research based on your industry to understand what your industry benchmarks are. Okay, so you have the list. Now what? Now you need to create a plan. We always have to have a plan. And when I talk about creating a plan, this can be relevant to just a content plan in general. And I'm definitely a marketer who is a content marketer, and I don't suggest only playing on one platform like social media, for example, because you're only going to reach so much of your audience on social media. So as content marketers, our goal is to reach our audience in whatever content channel they're in. And so when I talk about creating a calendar here, this can be your content calendar. And you shouldn't just be doing email marketing. You shouldn't just be doing social media. You can be doing both of them. And then let's add on a blog if you have the time and the resources to do that, because there is value in a blog. I'm not going to talk about blog today, but a content calendar can help you create this content for all of these channels. And where to start with that is, don't start with the content you're going to create. Start with kind of what's happening in the world, in your town, with your consumer. Like, what is top of mind? Because we don't want to create irrelevant content. So create a calendar that incorporates and shows you right then and there what's happening this month or the next month, however you're planning. So what are the local events? What are the holidays? Game days? For Fayetteville, game days are really important. So I need to know, is there a home game this Saturday? And what time is that home game? Because that really does make a difference. Are there promotions that we need to remember that we're doing that week? Is your business a seasonal business? And what do the seasons, how does it affect your business? And so putting all of this on a calendar, I think the point of it is just to help inspire content so that it's relevant to your audience.
Mailena, just kind of like when you talked about social media channels and being selective about those, what about dates and things that you post about? Do you have any recommendations for filtering, like what you do and don't, or what when events or holidays like National Dog Day, or like, what do you recommend when it comes to filtering and choosing what you select?
Yeah, it definitely can get overwhelming because there is a day for everything and everyone. And so you definitely don't want to highlight every single holiday and marketing. And those are kind of called marketing holidays. It's for us to be able to jump on the bandwagon and be part of that marketing that's happening for that day and have fun content to go along with it. But I would say choose the holidays or fun days that are relevant for your business and your audience. Like, I'm not going to choose a National Dog Day for big box karaoke unless dogs can karaoke. That doesn't happen.
Maybe one day.
Maybe, but choose ones that are relevant to you. Like I said, there's so many days you can go to. I go to HubSpot a lot to figure out what are these days coming up, and I'll pick and choose the ones like National Margarita Day. I definitely know that I want to say something about that, or maybe run a special around that day. And then I'm going to, showcase that on my social channels and email. So HubSpot is a great resource for finding what holidays are out there, but it's also a great resource for finding a template for a calendar. And there are so many templates out there. You can just Google content calendar templates or email marketing templates or email marketing calendar templates or whatever it is. But I didn't put one in this presentation because all of our brains work differently. And so you'll want to choose a template that will work with your brain. So definitely find a template out there, start filling it in, and it'll help you then start planning your content. And if you don't know already, really understand who your target audience is, because obviously that's who you're talking to. And so you need to create the content based on that. And then think about what your goals are, and your goals per piece of content probably will be different. But like, what are your goals in this email? For example, is it to promote a new special for the weekend? Is it to promote a sale that's happening in store only? Is it to promote new services? Whatever it is, think about what it is that you want to communicate and what it is that you want your email subscriber to do. So what is the call to action? And keep it simple and focused. And I think that you will find that it's most effective if you do.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Just kind of going along with the planning after you have that list, just content rule of thumb, 80-20 rule, I think is really good to keep in mind, which means, 80% of the content that you do and create should be just to inform, educate, or entertain, while the rest of the content, 20%, should be direct promotion. So we don't want to always just be selling, because then our audience will just start ignoring us, and we don't want that. Establish your brand voice. This will help with when you're writing content. So brand voice, what I mean by that means just like, what is your personality as a business, and this is sometimes an intimidating question, I think, but for me and Big Box, like, it is not just Big Box and it's not just me. Like, I am Big Box Karaoke. This is my story. This is my business. And so think of your business as just an extension of you. It is you. It was your passion project, or it was, something that you really saw a need in. If you started a business, you definitely have some sort of passion for whatever it is that you started. And so take that and create a personality out of it. You already have your own personality, so you just need to figure out how to translate that into your business marketing. And so establishing that will help you be able to write content really easily. And then what are those content pillars or themes? So we can, when you start planning your content, having themes set out so that it's easier to plan the content. Again, this is more kind of content marketing 101 stuff, but it will filter down into your email marketing. So content pillars can be stuff like kind of what I said under the 80-20 rule section. Inform can be one content pillar. What are we going to write to inform our audience? What are we going to write to entertain? What are we going to write to promote? So, and then if those are the three pillars that all of our content are going to kind of ladder up to, then we know exactly what we need to create. So it just makes it easier. And then you need to determine how often you want to send an email to your audience. And that is, again, I'm going to keep saying this throughout this presentation, but you can do a lot of Googling and find best practices across industries, but your business is unique and your town is unique. Or your market is unique. So you test and learn is what you're going to want to do to figure out the frequency that works best for your business. It also, frequency is very dependent on your time. And so if you're going to be doing your own email, then what is realistic for you? Is once a week realistic? Then set that goal and do once a week. If it's not, which if you're starting out, that's very, I don't know, intimidating. I feel like just try to get an email once a week, try once a month, start out once a month. And it also depends on the season. When Big Box Karaoke was deep into COVID, we were only getting to communicate with our customers through email and social media. So we decided to increase our frequency for email to 1 to 2 times a week, which before it was like maybe once every other week. And so do what works for you and your business, and have a goal once a month, I think is fine. But now for Big Box, we're just doing it whenever we have something to talk about. So don't force something if you don't have anything to talk about. The other thing you're going to have to test is time of day. There's probably a lot of research out there that says this is the best time of day to send an email, but that might not work for your business. So test out different parts of the day. Think about who your audience is, and just look at all of the metrics to see then, okay, well, I'm sending emails on Sunday at 8, and that is performing better than Mondays at 8, for example. We're a weekend business, so I have seen through Google Analytics and all of that people plan their weekends closer to the weekend. And so I have been sending my emails Wednesday and Thursday because people are starting to think about their weekend then. But your business might not be a weekend business. It might be a weekday business. So think about when people are starting to think about their weekdays, and test it. Email providers also have calculators and things that suggest the optimal time to send an email based on the historical data and all that. Typically, Tuesdays are best days to send out emails, but again, that's very broad. I definitely suggest testing. Okay. Segmenting and targeting is really important to make sure that we're personalizing content so that it is relevant to our audience. Our audience, this is a Big Box Karaoke email. Our audience is very broad. We have people of all ages that make reservations and so are part of our email marketing list. And we can, we don't, but we can get more information from these people. And this is an example of a good segmented email. We sell a lot of sake, but obviously not everybody on our email list likes sake, but the people who have subscribed to our sake email, which is not a separate email list, it's just a tagging system, which I'm not going to get into the technicals of it, but in email providers, you can tag your subscriber with certain tags so that you're able to filter and segment. So these people signed up for sake emails, so they are tagged Sake Club, and I sometimes have new sake that I want to share with them, and so I'll email just them about the new sake coming. So that's just an example of segmenting so that you're personalizing and targeting that content to the relevant people. I'm not going to send an email about a kid's birthday party to, you know, a student at the university. So it doesn't make sense, and it's a waste of time and a waste of an email. Okay, so what are the ways, what are some ideas that we can use in our marketing emails? And I'm going to talk about a few of them. Educate is one of them. I talked about that. So this is it's a great way to stay top of mind without being self-promotional. Here's an email from HubSpot. If you're not subscribed, I do not get paid by HubSpot at all. I just really like them. It's a content marketing platform, but HubSpot has really great content for marketing specifically. And this is an email that I get from them, and it's just very digestible. So digestible meaning like small snippets. I get exactly what is in the email. I get an easy button to push, and I get valuable content that is relevant to me as a marketer. I'm not going to go and buy, they're not asking me to buy their platform or subscribe to their, software or anything like that. They're just giving me some really valuable content. And I look how many times I've talked about HubSpot in this conversation today. And it's because they keep feeding me this valuable content, and they're like my number one resource to go to for just kind of what's happening in marketing. And so they have established themselves as an expert and the leader in their industry to me by creating this valuable content. And so think about that. If you're a services-based business, I think that it's perfect for service-based businesses to educate, because you're an expert in whatever you're serving to your customers. And so really focus in on that. And just keep it simple. Again, your emails just need to be very simple and digestible. Promoting, obviously we want to promote ourselves. So here are some ways that emails can help promote your business. If you have a rewards or a loyalty program, that is an easy way, using email marketing to help create excitement, ask for referrals. You can get people to sign up and then remind them, if you have a loyalty program, reminding them about their rewards points. I think that a lot of software has automated stuff that you can create so that it triggers different emails to go to those loyalty program signups. And then promotions, if you are running a promotion, always try to create that sense of urgency, like the American Eagle example there, last day for 40% off. So creating that sense of urgency will work in getting more people to open your email. And then again, just kind of going back to what I was saying about your email subscribers being your most loyal customers, and giving them, those first sneak peeks at things, or leveraging that list and creating buzz. So that top example for Havenly right here, they're just creating buzz in this email. There's no call to action. There's nothing. It's just keep your eyes open. Something's coming soon, so creating that fun buzz, and it makes them feel special because I'm getting kind of like the first notification that something's coming, and I'm going to kind of wait for the next email to see. Announcements are really good to include in that kind of self-promotional bucket of content on email. So we all have announcements to make, whether it's new arrivals or maybe a new hire or promotions, new products and services, a new store opening, or just like with our COVID stuff, like COVID announcements are very relevant right now, like dine-ins open or whatever it is. If you have an event or a milestone that you want to showcase in an email, then do it. These examples are Nike is introducing their new website, so showcasing that, and then they have a simple call to action to go there. This is a fun example I found, and I went to their website and it looks very good. It's a restaurant in DC. And anyway, can't get it here, but this example I wanted to show because it's an event, and they're telling their email subscribers about this event. And one of the cool things is this email has some movement. So you guys can see that movement, right? Okay. So it's a GIF. You can't really add videos in emails yet, or I haven't figured it out. If you figured it out, let me know, but you can add GIFs. And so they work like videos and they have that movement and animation. And it just kind of breaks up the monotony of email sometimes. So it's a cool example. The next thing that we
Mailena, sorry, just real quick, you do have a question in here. And one of the things I was personally interested in is how much you research other businesses that are like yours to go and find what it is that they're doing. Do you subscribe to other people's email lists? Are you like, hey, besides HubSpot?
Yes, that is such a good question because yes, we like to get inspiration from businesses that are like ours and that we kind of idolize. Like we're not going to be the best yet, right? But we can follow and see what's working for other businesses. And totally, I mean, even just with everything that you do from a marketing standpoint, go and follow those types of businesses that are playing in the same space as you, are like you. It can be local, it cannot be, but yeah, get inspiration from them and copy them. I think it's totally okay.
It totally is.
And yes.
Good. Well, we also have another question, which is about, are there any apps or platforms that enable segmenting and filtering the target groups? Or are you doing this manually from data customers shared?
So your email provider will offer those tools. For MailChimp, which is what I use for my business, there are landing pages that you can create that auto tag those people. So that's how that Sake email segmentation happened. I created a landing page that talked about Sake Club and what you were going to get from signing up. And if you signed up, then it auto tagged Sake Club to that email subscriber. Even if they were subscribed to our main email list, it just tagged them that. And so look into whatever email provider you're using and see how tags work or segmenting. But when you're on a website, for example, if you have an email capture on your website, you can ask those questions. And you've probably seen it before where sign up for our newsletter, put your email address in here, and then answer some of these questions about yourself. And then that will filter into your list and help with that segmentation.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so validating what we offer and what we do is really important because it's not coming from us, it's coming from third parties, it's coming from our customers or industry resources saying that whatever we're doing, what we're selling, they're saying that you should buy it, not us, but here's this article. So validation is really an area that you can use in your content, specifically email. So these are examples of some ways to do that in email. Customer testimonials, which is what you see on the right there with Latote, just kind of showing some of those testimonials there from real customers. And then you could always link to all of your reviews so people can kind of do their own research. Case studies, if you're, a B2B business or even a B2C business, maybe you're a spa service offering something about skincare and you want to show some case studies or before and afters, that's, something relevant to show validating what you're offering works. Third-party news articles, if you were featured in a news article with the newspaper or whatever, then link it and show that. Or podcasts, but some of us are being interviewed on podcasts, and share that, because it also, what this does is it kind of just brings more personality to your business. It promotes your business without promoting your business, right? So customer generated content is really great. The upcycled puffer jacket here is showcasing some of the customers wearing that jacket. We showcase a lot at Big Box. We showcase a lot of our customers at Big Box in our emails. So whether we're promoting stuff that's happening at the restaurant, we're always showing, and thank you so much for coming to sing with us. And here's some photos of people who have come to sing with us. So showing that people are actually enjoying your business and services is validation. And just tell your story. Again, people interact with people, and relate to people. And so there's always a person behind a business, and that's you. And so tell your story, tell how your business came to be, and show some behind the scenes of, how something's made or whatever it is. A letter from the owner, some highlights, create that culture and that personality. This example is through David's Tea, a tea company, and they were just they were celebrating their 10th anniversary and wanted to remind people of how they came to be, and how us as a consumer were part of that. And so just kind of a thank you email there. Any questions before I move into automation? No? Okay. Automation is really great because it's automated, which means that they're automated emails that you kind of set and forget, and it works for you. And at the very least, if you don't have it, then you should definitely have a welcome email. And a welcome email basically just welcomes your subscriber once they subscribe. So if you have an email capture on your website, somebody goes in and subscribes there, then they will get a welcome email if you have that set up. This example here is for a client we worked with called Natural State Rock and Republic, based in Springdale. And when we set up their email sign up on their website, we created this automation that was triggered once somebody signed up, and they would immediately receive a welcome email, just welcoming them to the community, talking about Natural State Rock and Republic. The email is way longer than this, but this is just a snippet of it. So driving traffic back to the website, read our story, book a tour, whatever, and giving personality to the business. Abandoned cart emails are really common with e-commerce businesses. We all leave stuff in our shopping carts online, and then we forget about it, or maybe we're just kind of just dreaming. and then these abandoned cart emails are ones that will automatically be sent if you have them set up to you to remind you, hey, you left something in the cart, come back. And I'll show you some examples in just a minute. You can do product retargeting emails, birthdays and anniversary emails, post-purchase confirmations, and then drip emails, which I'll go into in a minute. Here are some examples of automated emails. So the Handmade with Love, that's an abandoned cart email that is saying, hey, you left this in the cart, check out now for 15% off. So offering an incentive can be helpful. If you collect birthdays or anniversaries, then setting up an automated email to wish that customer a happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever it is you're tracking, and then maybe offering a gift of a discount code or something for them to come back or shop or whatever. That Top Shop one is an example of that. And then the one on the right is another kind of welcome email. And what they do a really good job of there is they talk about what to expect in their emails. So you see that right here. Here's what to expect. And then they give a little incentive because they want them to come back to their e-commerce store and shop.
So, Mailena, I noticed that there is a lot of visual activity in these automated emails that you're showing here. Are they, is your recommendation to do them very visual with graphics, or is just like a typed out, hi, glad you're here, kind of something okay too? Or is it industry specific?
I think it definitely is industry and audience specific. But I think we're all just more visual people. We live in a digital world that lends itself to visual consumption of stuff. And so even just like with this middle one right here, it doesn't have a lot of visuals in terms of photography or photos or anything like that, but it is visually appealing, right? And it's simple. So think about the hierarchy of your content. In this one right here, the hierarchy is you definitely want to first have your subscribers see this, like, and then, okay, oh, they wished me a happy birthday. Now what? Oh, then they want me to see this. That's kind of the second largest thing. And then how do I take that action? I'm going to do this. But I think it depends on your brand. Like this is I'd never been to Bando before, but after I was doing research, I went to their website. I'm like, wow, this is a really cool store. And this is definitely on brand for them. So, just making sure your consistency with your branding is coming through across all channels, including email. And yeah, I mean, text emails are fine too. Again, it depends on your audience and it depends on your business. I think that they're totally fine, especially if it's kind of like a one-to-one. If you're a consultant or something, then maybe it's more professional to do a text email. And it doesn't need to be all marketing-esque like this. So
that's awesome. Thank you.
I mentioned drip campaigns earlier, and drip campaigns are automated campaigns that you can set up. This is an example of an online travel agency that specializes in destination weddings. And we help them create templates so that, again, the consistency for the brand is there and it was visually appealing, but also it was taking some work off of the client. So when somebody went to the landing page to sign up for a free consultation, then they received this email saying, we're looking forward to the email or our first conversation, book a time below. And then on the day of, they received an automatic reminder. Don't forget, we have a call today. And then this one right here was for no-shows, people who had signed up for an actual conversation and didn't show up for that appointment. We want to try to get them back because they obviously showed interest and maybe something happened. And so just kind of giving them that nudge, like, hey, sorry, we missed you. Things happen. Let's book a time here. So those drip campaigns are based on behavior that your subscribers taking or your customers taking. Another good example of drip campaigns are if you're selling something like a service, or you're more in B2B sales. We set this up for another client where they would just kind of mass email some of their leads, and it had a templated email, but then it was personalized for that lead. And based on the behavior taken from that first email, let's say they clicked on something in the email. So they read the case study that we had in there, which means there's some sort of intent there. There's some interest. And so we could set up another kind of drip saying, when somebody clicks on this or downloads this, then they get an email 2 days later, which this is all real creepy, but it happens. And you've gotten a lot of emails like this, like 2 days later saying, hey, I noticed you looked at that case study let me know if you have questions. You can sign up for a time here or whatever, trying to ultimately get them to do what you want them to do, which is to call or book an appointment or whatever. But all this is, if you're sending like hundreds of emails all at one time, you can't go and track like, okay, did this person open my email? Is this person interested? And go and follow back. So all these like automations can be set up so that it's just kind of working for you. And you're only working on the ones that actually sign up for a call with you or show, interest. Okay, so we have our list, we have our plan, we're creating this awesome content, and now we need to figure out, is it working? So these are ways that you can kind of evaluate if what you're doing is working. And A/B testing is really a good thing to do if you're just kind of on the fence at what is working and what is not working. Maybe a subject line is something that you're like, I don't really know if my long subject lines, which don't make long subject lines, but maybe, there's a subject line for an email that you're promoting that you want to test, and you can do an A/B test with a small group of people, and then whatever wins, then that's what you're going to send out to the rest of the group of people. So you can do that, and then you can survey your audiences on how you're doing. You can, and then we already talked about measuring and comparing to industry standards, and then always include an unsubscribe link, because we definitely want to give people choices on if they want to keep receiving our emails or not. And then ask them, thanks for keeping with me for this long. May I ask why you're unsubscribing, so you know. And you can take that feedback and then learn from it and incorporate and fine tune. The last thing in terms of evaluation is really just kind of keeping it clean, which when I say that, it means just keeping your email list clean. So you can grow an email list and it can be really great in terms of like that quantity, but what's the quality of that list? And are people actually engaged with your emails? And so best practice is to do an email list cleanup 3 to 6 months. I think every 6 months is fine, and really kind of see what that engagement level is. There are bounces that a lot of your emails will have, which means that these emails are not getting to the subscribers that you're sending it to. And there can be multiple reasons for that. A lot of times it's just a typo in their email address. So spending time really cleaning that up and doing some manual work and seeing what's wrong with that email and editing it. There's what we call a win back campaign. And so this is for people who have not engaged with your email, meaning they haven't even opened an email in the last 3 months, for example. So they're obviously not interested, or they're not getting it or something. So let's try to win them back. And the image here is a really great structure for a win back email series. And so there are ways you can segment to understand who these people are that have not opened your emails and over the last 3 months or 6 months or however long that time frame is that you're measuring, and then send a series like this. And so we'll go through this and I'll show you some examples. But sending in a hello, remember me email to kind of get that series started. And then maybe they still don't open the email. Then you're going to offer them an incentive, whatever you want to incentivize them with, like, hey, just for you, 15% off here or whatever. If they still don't engage with that, then let's get some feedback from them. And then let's clean it up and then give them a choice and just say, hey, we see that you're not really interested anymore. We're going to unsubscribe you. Click here if you want to continue to be subscribed. So here's some examples of those win back emails. This one is kind of like the hello email. We haven't seen you in a while. And Asana is a project management platform software system, and they're just kind of talking about like a little bit about their product. Try it now, try to get people in there. Here's Birchbox. we have something for you. We miss you. Let's try this again. So they're offering an incentive to come back. And here's kind of that end of the win back. Is this the end? We're going to take you off our list. Do you still want to hear from us? Keep me on, click here. So, and with this, it always kind of hurts when you're like deleting a whole bunch of emails because you worked really hard to get them, but obviously they're not interested anymore. So you shouldn't have to pay for those contacts, one, and you're not really getting really great metrics. Your metrics are off because, you know, it's not accurate. It's not efficient. So they're 45%. I read this, 45% of customers that get a win back email will open your future emails. So it works. The last thing out of all this is just, again, testing and learning and just doing. Just start somewhere, and it can be very small and simple, but start somewhere, start testing it, learning from it, and then optimizing it as you go.
Awesome, Mailena. Do you have any, like, what are some big no-nos? Like, is there any like high pressure, annoying, in people's face stuff that you're just like completely avoid this? Because I mean, email marketing, it has to be aggressive, stay relevant and stay, you know, close to people and kind of in their side view mirror until they come in focus. But what are some things that people should just completely avoid when it comes to email marketing? That's a whole other session, right?
It is a whole other session. I mean, I would say just like, don't do an email every single day. That's too much. And nobody has time for that anyway, but some people do, and it's a lot. I mean, I will say I do enjoy some emails that I get every day, but it's like with brands that I just really want to purchase from, but don't. And so they do a really good job of like trying to get me to purchase. And I open the emails every day because they're just so good. But everyday emails are, I would say, no. And Natasha talked about this in her webinar, but just subject line words to stay away from, because then you're going to be blocked by spam blockers like free, you know, words like that can look spammy. All caps in subject lines can also be blocked. So just like a high alert email, like, you know, we want valuable content. And so there's a way to balance trying to get somebody to open your email and also provide that sense of urgency. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I would say. Just, yeah.
Well, and I posted Natasha's link again to get to some of those, because she had a list of good ideas of words not to say and things not to do. So I posted that just a second ago too, for you guys to get back to that.
I would also say there's, they do say that if you have your email come from a person, then it's more likely to be open. But from big box, and again, this kind of goes back to my point of just testing and learning what works for you. We do that because that's what I know. I know that people will open my email more if it comes from Mailena Urso rather than Big Box Karaoke. But that backfired on me recently, and I sent an email from Mailena and Justin, the owners of Big Box Karaoke, and somebody replied back and was like, I have no idea who you are. Why are you sending it from your name? Why don't you send it from Big Box Karaoke? I opened it because I got him through the subject line, you know, and he's like, who is this, basically? And he opened it, which I'm like, I got you still. But think about the content of the email. And so that's what I kind of learned from that, is like the content of my email. Maybe it would have been best if it was from the business. And if it was a letter from, you know, the owners, then maybe I could have put, you know, Mailena, owner of Big Box Karaoke or something, you know.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That's a really good tip. Well, we just have a couple more minutes. We'd love to have any questions that you have. Of course, if you want to ask in person, simply unmute and say what you've got to say. You have Mailena here and her expertise and insights. So if you have something that you are experimenting with or something that worked or didn't work for you, please feel free to go ahead and ask. We would love, love, love to hear from you.
And I've been posting a lot of links with our information too. So please feel free to reach out to us.
Yes. And again, you will get a copy of the fantastic presentation that was just done. So no worries there. You won't be out of the loop on that. And we also will have the recording up very shortly. And our one of our fearless leaders is out of town. It must be summer or close to it. So it should be up by next week. So you will be able to get that. So we'll go ahead and if you don't have any questions for Mailena right now, please do know that she is part of the ASB TDC team. So you're welcome to, if you're not already a client, become a client, and you will have access to her expertise there as well. So we want to thank you again for being here. As an attendee of the conversation, again, you'll be emailed a copy, and we'll also give you a brief survey because we want to help to continue to serve you and bring you quality programs. We've posted a ton of links in the chat as we've been going along, and I'll post them again while Chris tells you all about where you can find us from this point forward.
Well, thank you, Amy and Mailena. I appreciate you guys both so much, but you can find a full listing of our workshops at sbtdc.uark.edu. And you can also use the QR code that's right there on your screen to sign up for notifications and become a client. I've posted that over and over and over again. We would love to have you guys as a client. We're also posting on social media, so please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We've got a lot of great information that we post all the time out there. But until we see you guys all next time, thank you again, Mailena, for everything. This was the third session that you've done this month. And so please go see her other recordings. They are full of a lot of great information.
Yeah, you want to get to know how to do all those graphics, Canva 101 and 102 on the website.
I learned.
Go for it. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.